All right, welcome back to the channel. Where do stocks trade? Well, stocks trade on what's called an exchange, or more specifically, a stock exchange. For example, the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. An exchange can be thought of as a place where buyers and sellers can meet and trade money for stocks. They exchange with each other, right? That's where the word comes from. It's kind of like a grocery store. You go there, you see all the different products you want, and you buy them, all in one easy place. Well, an exchange is somewhere you can go to purchase all the different stocks. Most exchanges have physical locations, like the New York Stock Exchange, but some, like the NASDAQ, are digital only. They're only online. You don't actually have to go to the exchange to buy your stock. You simply tell your broker to buy it for you by placing a trade on your computer through your investing account. You see, back in the day, before computers and internet, you'd have to call your broker, and then your broker would have to call his broker in New York on Wall Street to actually get the shares, and then they would mail the stock to your house. So that process could take several weeks. Now it's just a click of a button on the computer or on a phone. The New York Stock Exchange is the world's largest stock exchange. It has a combined market cap of all the companies traded there at around $25 trillion dollars with a T. The NASDAQ in the United States is the second largest exchange, and the combined market cap of the companies there is $22 trillion dollars. Next, we have the Shanghai Stock Exchange in China. It's the third largest stock exchange, but notice how it doesn't really even come close to the first two at only $7 trillion dollars of combined market cap. The Euronext is the fourth largest. The Japan Exchange Group is the fifth largest. And then I just threw another one in there, the Chicago Board Options Exchange. That is where people go to exchange options contracts, which is something I will be discussing in this channel in a future video. So how can companies trade on these exchanges? Can they just list their stock on any of these exchanges? Can any stock sell on the Japan exchange? Not really. So companies they need to meet certain requirements to be able to list on these exchanges. So each exchange, like the New York Stock Exchange or the Shanghai Exchange, will have their rules of what kind of companies can trade there. So, for example, to trade on the New York Stock Exchange, a stock must be at least $4 per share, or it must be worth, to trade on the Shanghai Exchange, it must be worth more than 50 million yuan, which is the currency for China over there, before they can list on their exchange. So the point with that is that stocks can't just trade on any exchange. To continue with the store analogy, a brand of food you can't just sell in any store. So if you have a if you have a, what do we call it, a Foot Locker or a shoe store, you can't just sell. They're not just gonna let anyone sell dog food in that store. It has to be a certain type of store. Same thing with the exchanges.